And now, let's welcome our guest. Peter Criss, formerly of Kiss, of course, has just released his first solo album in quite some time called One for All. We'll listen to some of the brand new songs, play a couple of old favorites, and talk to Peter, too, as Rockline welcomes Peter Criss. It's a pleasure to have you join us tonight.
Thanks for having me, man. It's an honor to be on your show again.
Oh, thanks. It's been a while. We do have some history. We were just talking about a show we did at the Rio Casino in Las Vegas that was a little whacked out.
Was that crazy, man?
It was crazy. They put us in a Chinese restaurant in the Rio Casino, closed the restaurant down, and we did a rock line there. And that was one of the more bizarre rock lines, I got to say.
Bizarre was the train coming through the middle of the town every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Man. I've never seen that in my whole life. I've never heard that. I was like, what is that noise? And looked out the window and there's a train going by in the middle of the city.
You know, wow. you got to do what you got to do, I guess. And gamblers will go anywhere, train or no train, man.
You better believe it, man.
So Peter, let's talk about this brand new album, One for All. You recorded off and on for about a 2-year period, right?
Yeah, I did. I was building a studio in the house, and I was out with the guys again. We were doing a thing in Melbourne with the Melbourne Symphony, which was fantastic. It was a great rush to be up there with 60 guys, 60 people playing and being the only drummer up there. It was really a very cool feeling. But when I got home, I got into a real lull, and I got a little melancholy. I'm a melancholy guy. I wear my heart on my sleeve. And I heard a great version of Send in the Clowns, and so I sampled the piano, and I sang it, and it's not even in my bag, man, but it suits my soul these days. And I got a very emotional feeling with it, and it reminded me kind of where I really felt where the band was kind of standing these days. We were in different places and different, changed and older and different, and that's kind of how it goes.
And I know you've co-produced before, but this is really your maiden solo flight as a producer, right?
It's the first time on charted land. I went to places I never want to go again. It's a very hard seat, easy to say, okay, I'll produce it. It costs money, your own money, which it gets really, at times you wonder when a guy's trying to charge you $65 in the room you're mixing for one CD. I don't think so. So I brought my own in after a while. And I learned but I had a lot of help. I figured, a lot of years I worked with the great Bob Ezrin and the great Vinnie Poncia and Eddie Kramer. So if I couldn't do this, no one can. And I felt so close to this stuff because it's very autobiographical, and the music meant so much to me. And the people that I brought in to help me was so much of a help. I'm not a technical guy, but I know what I want to hear, and I know what my heart feels. And there was always, always someone in the room to be there. Clifford Carter, who did all the arrangements that Paul Schaefer got me, was just a wonderful guy, man. He came in. I don't know how to mix violins and cellos. I'm a 3-chord guy, with 3 guitars, but there was someone always with a helping hand. Hey, Peter, what can I do for you? Can I come over and help you? So I had a lot of help.
Paul Schaefer from David Letterman's band, the CBS Orchestra, Will Lee, both on the album, longtime friends of yours?
Yeah, man, 2 Grammy winners, too. Will got a Grammy this year. I'm very proud of him. Him and I become extremely great friends now. My wife got him blue suede shoes for Christmas because I had a pair and he loved them so much. He's such a great guy, man. He's infectious. And I got him through Paul. And Paul and I go way back to the 70s, back in the day when Saturday Night Live was on, and I was very good friends with John Belushi, who passed on. We were really good buddies, and that whole clique was just a great clique back then. And through the years, we've kept in touch, and when the tragedy happened with 9/11, we did a couple of benefits together and raised $9 million for the whole thing, and that got us a little closer. And then finally, when I realized where I was going with this record, I don't call it CDs. I realized I needed a real man who knows how to play a B3 and a baby grand, and I met him up at his office at the Ed Sullivan Theater, and he said, "You really got a big pair to go on and try songs like these big kind of show songs." And I said, "No, I really want to do this. I've always wanted to do it, and I could do this now." And he said, "All right, just call me and I'll be there." And I'll, he was there, man, and he just couldn't do enough for me. He really couldn't. It was just, and I felt myself as a musician, not rock star stuff. I really felt myself that I stepped up a little to play with guys like this. These guys are real musicians. I watch them every night on the David Letterman, and I am in awe.
They're really, really good. You mentioned a big pair, and you're not talking about blue suede shoes either. Let's talk about the title track. You mentioned 9/11. How did it come about? Tell us about the choir and that type of thing for One for All, the title song.
Sure. Again, also Mike McLaughlin wrote a lot of this stuff with me, and he sent me a really beautiful little ditty, but it didn't have much of also melody to it. And I'm a Catholic kid. I'm still a Catholic kid. I went to Catholic school. I was raised really well with my mom and dad, who are not here anymore, but I got the good stuff. And I do go once a week for them. And I got back home, and my wife said that a plane hit the trades, and I thought, I guess like every New Yorker, one of those little planes, little Cessna or something, might have hit it. And when I watched the second one, it was so surreal. It was like a bad movie. It was like it wasn't really happening. And watching the chaos was just overwhelming for me, and it still is. But I come into the city, they're not there anymore. It really freaks me out. I become very close to a lot of the firemen out here and the cops in New York, and it's just been great. But it was a tragedy, and I went down my studio and I had this melody, and I prayed to God, please just give me the words, and they started coming, and I realized, war is bad. I'm not going to get political. It's dangerous, and I know we need to fight for freedom, but terrorism's really scary, and murder's scary, and I see a lot of stuff on TV with mothers and wives watching these guys go off. It's very touching, and it kind of really probed me to write this piece of music about the whole incident. Look, I wish I could write "We Are the World" like Quincy Jones, but I'm not Quincy Jones. It's my little kind of way of saying how I feel. We all have opinions, but I am a Brooklyn, New Yorker boy, and I was very touched by it. And I got these great kids to sing on it, a bunch of really cool urban kids, just really great kids. And the irony was they came. Their school was called Transfiguration, and I went to a school as a boy called Transfiguration. I really believed this was an omen from God. I truly believed like he was giving me these children. And working with them was such I never produced it. And there I was with these kids in the room, and it was such a great vibe, man. It was such a cool feeling. The parents were worse than the kids. They were giving us a harder time because they wanted them to be big stars and stuff. And so, but it all turned out really and a lot of spiritualism went into the song because it needs to be there. I think I can't write anything unless I really have gone through it or I live it. I believe, great thing that God gave me is I could also sing besides drum. It's a great way to let out your joys and your pains, man, through your music.
This is One for All, title track of the brand new album by Peter Criss. Got to wait for the drums at the end there. That is a soulful piece of music, title track of the brand new album from Peter Criss, One for All. Your calls for Peter are coming next on Rockline toll free at 1-800-344-ROCK. One of the brand new songs is called Faces in the Crowd, about Kiss fans.
You were there to lift me up when things got bad and the road gets lonely. You were there to get me by the good and the bad, the times that we shared. You always cared. You were there to see me through, where the papers said I was drowning out.
And we're back, and Bob Coburn with Peter Criss, and your calls now, and beginning from Lecanto, Florida. This is Mark. Is that the correct pronunciation for your city there, Mark?
Yes, it is.
Lecanto. Well, welcome to Rockline. Here's Peter for you.
How you doing, Peter?
How you doing, Mark?
It's an honor once again to talk to you. I'd just like to say God bless you, and it's great that you're going to be a grandfather, I heard.
No, I don't talk. It sounds. Yes, I am. Thank you.
The G word, yeah, right.
I stumble a lot when I say that.
What you want to ask Peter tonight, Mark?
Peter, I heard you just wrapped up a film called Frame of Mind. Is that coming out soon? And are you doing any more acting in the future?
If it's cool and it's a lot of fun, yeah, absolutely. I love doing that. I love being somebody, and then you could go home after that. Like when I did Oz and beat two guys to death with a baseball bat, and I stayed in jail all day long, and then at the end of the day, everybody goes home. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I would love to do some more acting. I'm glad Yeah, I got to play a retired lieutenant on that. Charles Kipps is a good buddy. He helped write some of the lyrics on It Doesn't Get Better Than This, and he won an Emmy for Fat Albert and Little Bill.
Way to kick it off there, Mark. Boy, the calls are lined up tonight. This is Corey from Portland, Oregon. Hi, Corey.
DC!
Hey, my man.
What an ultimate for me, a fan for over 30 years, Peter. You're someone that I've always looked up to.
Oh, thank you so much, Curry. That's so wow. Thank you, man.
I must say, yeah, I looked up to you to the point where you are idolized in a rock and roll action figure, and I must ask you, how does it feel to be immortalized as a rock and roll action figure, and do you collect them?
I don't collect them, although I got a lot of them down in my basement. I got a lot of stuff in my basement. I don't think about it, man. It's like, it just doesn't, I'm a funny guy. I get up. I'm a real down-to-earth guy. I go to the gym. I just don't think of myself in that sort of vein. It like freaks me out if I do. I'm no superhero. I'm a kid from Brooklyn.
There you go.
Who plays a good set of drums, hopefully.
Yeah. Corey, anything else for Peter tonight?
I must ask you, as a drummer, what inspired you to be a singing drummer, and was it easier for you to master? There's only a select few in rock that can really do it, and Peter, you're one of the best. Congratulations on the record, and good luck.
Thank you so much. And you're right. You got Don Henley, Phil Collins. There isn't many of us. I played drums because I wanted to emulate Gene Krupa. When my dad put that sing, sing, sing on, I went crazy. That's what I wanted to be. The singing came. My mother was a wonderful singer. She always sang 24/7 around the house. She should have been a pro, and it rubbed off on me. And one day I was drumming, and then the singing kind of came along. It took a lot of practice. You better believe it, to roll around the drums and hold one note at the same time. You're doing 5 different things, but God, I'm so blessed to do that.
Peter Criss, time for another call at 1-800-344-ROCK. We head to Jacksonville, North Carolina. David, welcome to Rockline.
Hey, Peter.
Hey, David.
Yeah, who was Beth and how did she come about?
Beth was a girl named Rebecca, and I was in a group, Chelsea. We got a deal on Decca Records, which was probably way before your time, but it was a big label when I was a young guy. And the band dispersed. We were one album type band, but one of the guys' wives, which was Rebecca, never stopped calling rehearsal. Every 5 minutes rehearsal. And one of the gentlemen in the band was the late Stan Penridge, who wrote Beth with me. We got jokingly writing a song called Beck, We Hear You Calling, But We Can't Come Home. So it was kind of a country thing. It got serious after the band dispersed, and we actually got a band called Lips together. Talk about crazy. And we took the song very serious. We started putting it together serious. When I finally got it kind of where I thought it was really good, I sung it to Gene one day. We were in the car, and he liked it. And then when Ezra got it, he said, well, we can't sing about Jeff Beck. That's ridiculous. Maybe he'll like that, singing to him, but we got to do something about it. How about Beth? I said home run. It was a home run. And Bobby Ezrin had a lot to do with that. He had a lot to do with the arrangement, picking out the strings and all. And it actually was a B-side and winds up being a People's Choice one. I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll take it, David. Thanks for joining us tonight. More of your calls coming up momentarily. We have the encore question left by Ted Nugent, who was our guest last week, and a whole lot more coming up with Peter Criss on Rockline. Shows coming up. Time for the encore question. Here's Uncle Ted.
Hey, this is Ted Nugent talking to my blood brother, Peter Criss. Peter, I've always admired everything rhythm and blues and grind rock and roll drumming that you have mastered, and you have been the inspiration to so many drummers out there. Who inspired Peter Criss to be such a pounder like you are?
Gene Krupa.
Gene Krupa, the jazz drummer, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My all-time idol.
Did your dad turn you on to Gene? I think you mentioned something along that line.
My
earlier.
dad, when he played, when I heard it, I ruined my mother's pots and pans every day. That was the first drums they could play on. But true story, around 16, 17, there's a club in New York City called the Metropole, and Gene Krupa was performing there. And every day, my dear closest friend Jerry Nolan from the New York Dolls, I don't know if anybody's still familiar with the New York Dolls,
sure,
but they were a big inspiration on us. And Jerry and I would stand outside and watch Gene perform. Eventually, I got to hit 18, and he was still now and then coming around, and I started making the man crazy and became a big groupie and kept telling him, show me this and show me that. And I got a few little lessons from the guy, and I was just in awe of him. I was totally want to emulate the man.
And in the world of rock and roll, I understand you're a Charlie Watts fan.
Yes, I think Charlie, I find that I think rock and roll to me, I'm old school. You got to dance to it. You got to dance, man. Rock and roll should make you want to dance. And I find Charlie one of the most steadiest, guys in the biz, man. He's right on top of it. He's always steady. Eddie, he's just, even if it's a boom ba, it's cool, man. You could dance with it. I love Chucky. I think Charlie is just one of the greats.
He's always in the pocket, isn't he? We'll check in with Portland, Maine. It's Bob. Hi, Bob. Welcome to Rockline.
Hey, Peter.
How you doing?
Good. I grew up in New York, so I seen every concert at the Coliseum and Garden. I was wondering if you remembered around 1978 when you had a little mishap on stage and they were bringing the drum risers up and one of the giant cat statues came down on you.
That was
and
a wild.
You were seriously injured with that?
I wasn't not seriously injured. I don't remember that, actually. I remember getting hit in the face with an egg, actually. An egg came flying from nowhere and got me in the eye, and I had to stop for a while. But I don't remember the cats going over on me.
Okay, now I want to know, who the hell brings an egg to a concert?
Well, it was a good shot. My eye was black for months.
Oh, my God, man.
It really hurt. What a mess it made. So.
Yeah. Gee, but you don't remember being almost crushed by one of the cats?
No, I remember the cats, though, being stolen in Brave Stadium. Somebody out of nowhere came in with a truck, threw them in their truck, and drove them away, and they were gone.
Man.
True story, yeah.
People will lift anything, I swear. Bob, brother, thanks for joining us tonight. Patrick is located in beautiful Pacifica, California, and is now in Rockline. Hi, Patrick.
Hi.
Hey,
Peter.
Patrick. How you doing, man?
Just can't believe I'm speaking to you. You have been
cool.
A major stay in my life. Listening to Kiss growing up and stuff, I always believed that Peter Criss was the one that was the most original person in this band. My question is, how do you keep coming up with these original songs and getting to be such a popular person in your life? How do you handle it?
Oh, I don't know about. I try to be popular, but I love music, and I was around it all my life. It was always around me. I love all music, all music, not just look. I love all music, rock, pop, jazz, everything. And I think being around it and hearing it all the time, and it's been a big influence on me. So it comes through all my stuff, and I love writing. I love to write pretty much what's real, what's really real, and what you can feel. If you could feel my pain in a song, if you feel the blues, or you feel even great, then I've accomplished a composer what a writer should do.
Do you ever have anybody approach you and say, your vocals, your music touched me, helped get me out of a bad spot, that type of thing?
Bob, I'll freak it. I did a sign-in yesterday, and quite a few people blew my mind. This gal came up to me, and she said she wanted to, commit suicide kind of and stuff like that. And she said that my music really helped her through that kind of pain. It blew my mind. Another person came up and said that she was going through the most worst times of her life, and again, my music helped her through. A fireman came up with his battle helmet, like the guy wears into the stuff, and he said, "Please sign your name on this. I got my kids on here. I got this on here. It would mean so much to me if you put your name on my helmet, and I'll feel really good when I go into battle." And the cops were coming down to see me. It's so cool. I don't know. I guess maybe because I truly write from the heart. I'm a kid from the old school, and I write everything from the heart. Even in some of these new songs, they're very spiritual to me, and I'm seeing people are really feeling them from all ages. It's wonderful.
So you're referring to an in-store that you did yesterday in the New York City area, right?
Yes, at Virgin, and it was so exciting. I did not expect that many fans, and I want to thank them all for coming. There was so many cool people came out to see me. It was so cool. The room was full of love, man.
Boy, I would imagine doing one of those, you're kind of thinking, wow, I wonder how many people are going to show up and if there's going to be a crowd. And it must have been pleased to see everybody turn out like that.
Oh, I was. Yeah, I was like a kid. I'm so nervous getting there. My wife said, "Stop it. It's going to be great. It's going to be great." and they were waiting there really like all day, like they kind of would when the boys and us, were together, how people wait. They're so endearing, Kiss fans. I cannot. They're infectious. They have given me such a wonderful life.
Patrick, thanks for joining us tonight. It's Greg's turn as we head to Greer, South Carolina. Greg, you're on Rockline with Peter Criss.
Hi, Peter. It's an honor.
Oh, hey, Greg. How you doing, man?
Hey, fine. Did you feel any animosity with the new members of KISS during the MTV Unplugged show?
No. Look, there's only, there's the real guy behind the heart behind the hands. You know, you could take the Lone Ranger's mask off of, but he's still a Lone Ranger. I'm too old for that stuff. I got so much great things in life. Life should be positive for you and me now. I mean, it's a good thing to be. Every day above ground's a good day. I don't let that stuff bother me. It's just, kind of goes over my head. I got other things on my mind, like writing new songs for my fans.
We're going to try to play the song Heart Behind the Hands a little later in the show. Right now I want to play another new song from the brand new CD. It hit the street yesterday, One for All by Peter Criss. It doesn't get better than this. Tell us a bit about the song and this wonderful woman who sings with you on this.
Oh, man. I wrote about my wife, and it was kind of true. Like, when you're on the road, man, it gets hairy. It gets crazy, and you're so together all the time. I mean, you're just constantly together as the guys. When you get to the hotel and all is said and done, you lock that door. It's wonderful, man. It's like it is another world. You're by yourself if you're with your wife or your girl or whatever, or pets. I don't know if you're into that, but it's a wonderful moment of quietness. And you send up. I love to send up for an old movie and maybe some room service, and it's a magical time. I brought this. I was short some lyrics, and I brought the song to Charles Kipps, who helped me out on some of the lyrics, who has been working for Bill Cosby for easily 30 years and won an Emmy for Fat Albert and, am I right? Fat Albert, Little Bill. So, the song is dear and near. And the gal, look, I tried to get Aretha Franklin. I wish I could. Nothing against Jen, though. My good friend Jocelyn got her for me. This gal could sing, man. She came in and blew me away. And I always wanted to do a duet with a girl like pipes like she has. It was really cool.
Doesn't get better than this. There you go. That is Peter Criss off the brand new album One for All with Jennifer Johnson, trading vocals on the particular song with Peter. Kurt is located in Oklahoma City and is now in Rockline with Peter Criss. Hi, Kurt.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Peter. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing, pal?
Just great. Hey, I got a question for you. Actually, two questions. First, I want to know what you thought of the book Sealed with a Kiss that your first wife, Lydia, put out last year. And then I'd like to know what's up with your autobiography. I've been waiting 21 years for it.
Well, first one, I don't care because I got other things to do in my life, so I don't really pay attention to other people trying to utilize on my name or whatever. And my book, yes, I keep telling my wife I got to do it. I've been working on it forever, and it's all like bits and pieces of my life. And I really got now finally a really great ending, sort of, let's just say, for it. And I will get to it. I just want to get a little more music that I have in my soul out to you. I worked on a rock album with Michael McLaughlin over the winter, and I actually finished a swing album, Benny Goodman sort of stuff, and I got to mix that. And then I'm going to get to my book. I mean, only one member in the band wrote one, and that's one opinion. And there's three other guys have opinions, so I will get it done, but it takes a little while.
So there's a whole lot more music coming from you then.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
The working title for the book, Face Without a Kiss, is that it?
No, I have a whole new title, and I just, I've been doing some kind of business with certain houses, so I can't say.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
We'll cut you some slack.
But
on
I'll
that.
send you one. I'll send you a personal one.
All right. There we go. Well, that's a good trade. I like
Fair
that.
deal.
Yeah, it's a good deal on this end.
Absolutely.
There's no obligation to answer everything.
I like to play fair baseball.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks for the call, Kurt. Tim is waiting, and he is located in Oregon. Tigard, Oregon, or Tigard? Tigard. There you go. All right, Tim. Here's Peter for you.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Oh, pretty good. I was wondering, do you have any plans for the future, like a solo tour or something?
I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of taking it a step at a time, and I'm kind of just, feeling it out, because if I do something, I want to do it right. I'm not crazy. I'm not delusional. I know who I am. I know I do a lot. I do really big things when the boys and all of us are together, but on my own, it's a little different, and so it's new also for me. It's on like uncharted land, so I'm a little afraid, kind of maybe, to stick my foot in the water right away. So, but we're talking about it. We are talking about it.
Maybe you could do, say, Letterman, since you got Paul Schaefer and Will Lee. You might be able to do something with that band. I'm just tossing stuff out here. You're located there in New York City. Conan's always looking for somebody.
Well, you're not the only one. Everybody's sort of been saying, I have a feeling Dave's going to call me and say, will you leave me alone? Because everybody's calling. They want you on my show. For Christ's sakes, you got half of my band. That would be very cool. If it happens, it would be very cool.
I want to play the song Black Diamond. Paul sings on this, you sing on this, and it's got that wacky ending that Bob Ezrin, I think, was instrumental in. What can you tell us about the song, how it ended up with two vocalists and the crazy ending?
Actually, Paul wrote it. We were working with Eddie Kramer at the time, and we used that. That was a demo, one of the songs we got our deal from Casablanca. And Paul sang it, and Eddie said, it really needs, needs something real big, needs some strength or something. So I took a shot at it, and Eddie goes, well, I guess we know singing it. Peter's going to sing it. And Paul had no problem really with that. And I wound up doing this song, and I loved it, man. It was... Talk about screaming my brains out every night. It was a great way to release all that energy I had.
So not Bob Ezrin, Eddie Kramer, and it just seemed like a song that was destined for you to do the vocal, huh?
Yeah, Eddie's the original man. Eddie Kramer definitely helped us got our record deal.
He's been on Rockline before, and he doesn't generate as many calls as some of those superstar A-list artists, but he's got such great stories, and the music we can play when he's on is insane.
He's so cool, Eddie. Look at he's done Hendrix, my Lord, Zeppelin. I don't know if people realize Eddie's roots and who he's done. I mean, I love Eddie Kramer. I've known Eddie a long, long time, and my heart, I love the man. He's a great guy, man.
He did a couple of songs with the Beatles, too, and he's a great photographer, and he said that's the one time when he intentionally left the camera behind because he couldn't bring himself to say, can I take your picture?
I would probably feel the same way. I was always nervous with those guys. I look at them, it's like, oh, my God, I'm a big fan of them. I'm still a fan of certain people, and I was always a fan of the Beatles, man.
So let's check out Black Diamond. We will not play the song in its entirety. We'll give you a little taste of the wacky ending from Eddie Kramer, and we'll feature Peter right now on Rockline. Oh, and then you got to put your seatbelt on for the rest of it there.
God, Eddie was out there.
Yeah. Oh.
I forgot that ending. I haven't heard that in years. That's out there.
Oh, and it goes for about another minute, too.
Yeah, it really kind of makes you go full on the floor.
Peter Criss, our guest tonight on Rockline, which is brought to you by Fox. Rescue Me, the critically acclaimed series starring Dennis Leary, is now on Wednesdays. Don't miss all new episodes of Rescue Me, Wednesday at 10, 9 Central on FX. Another new song on One for All from Peter Criss is called Hope.
Oh, baby, you give me hope. It's a hell of a crime to need you, such a crime. Now that I got the time, I had no hope in the love shining through. Baby, now I found you.
It is Rockline. Peter Criss strutting his stuff tonight on the show, taking your calls at 1-800-344-ROCK. The line's been jammed up all night long. Ace from San Francisco, welcome to Rockline.
Peter Criss, what's up? It's Ace from Reality Check TV, San Francisco.
Wow, another Ace. How you doing, Ace?
I'm doing good. Hey, I wanted to find out if you have heard Paul's solo record, and have you seen Ace Frehley's new Dunkin' Donuts commercial?
I haven't seen Ace's commercial, and I think Paul's got a great record.
I think Paul was really smart to get the Rockstar band to go on the road with him.
Yeah, I do too.
The guys who did Rockstar NXS and Rockstar Supernova, those guys can flat out play.
Yeah, I mean, how could you go wrong? It's like me grabbing the Leatherman band, taking them out with me.
Well, there you go.
How could I go wrong?
Yeah, hard to go wrong with that. And Ace, it's a commercial not running everywhere in the U.S. We've not seen it on the West Coast out here, but I guess it's getting a lot of airplay back east. And he's in full makeup, too. Do you guys have to sign off for that, just out of curiosity? Does anybody have to say you can or can't do it?
We don't talk about that.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of another subject.
All right. Well, then that's good. Let's talk about Ace. I understand he's doing an album, too. And talk about Letterman's band. I hear Anton Fig is playing drums on that.
I heard the same thing through the grapevine. And Anton and Ace go way back. I mean, like Ace's first solo, when we did the four of us all did solos. If you look at it, Anton was on that, and so they've been friends forever, those two guys, and I was happy to hear that.
You used the phrase earlier, "heart behind hands," and I didn't know if it was just a reference to the song of the same name, or if that's a phrase that you actually use.
Well, it's turned into a phrase because I stole it from the song. I found that song was so compelling. I tried actually out for the play. It's a song from a play called Brooklyn. And they called me up, and I went down and tried out for the play. and I loved it. I was so excited that I forgot to act, which I went to school for 2 years, and I was so interested in trying to get the vocals right. And so they go, Peter, you got the song down, but you got to act with it too. And I went on. So I learned it was a great experience, and out of it, I loved the song. I fell in love with the song, and it has so much to do with about a musician with a heart behind the hands. And I just redid it in a blues version because it was too Broadway-ish, their version, and they were really happy that I redid it.
Right, it's definitely in the blues groove.
It is a hot guitar in there.
Heart Behind Hands, the brand new album from Peter Criss, One for All, playing some new selections for you tonight. Couple of old favorites sprinkled in, taking your calls too, 1-800-344-ROCK. And we are going to take a call right now from Antioch, California. Michael, welcome to Rockline.
Hi, thank you. Hey, Peter.
How you doing, man?
I'm great. Hey, I wanted to ask you, has your opinion of acting and your view on your acting skills changed since the making of the Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park? And my follow-up question is, are you surprised that that's become such a cult classic?
Well, I'm not surprised. It's out there. No, that's out there. But, yeah, of course I've changed. I went to acting school. A gentleman named John Ide, who I worked with, who believes in method acting. And I learned so much about acting, really acting, about what it's really about. And I got the tools now, which you need tools like in anything. In music, you need the right tools. And I just have such a broader look of what real acting is about that I'd love to do more of it because now I know more about it. So it's easier because I didn't know much. When we did Kiss Meets the Phantom, I felt like Kiss Meets Batman. It was not really heavyweight stuff, man. It was just having a good time in the park and having a great old party as far as I was concerned.
But you do enjoy the acting.
Yes, very much. It's really, to me, it's like therapy. I could get out of Peter Criss for a while, and I could really be some other guy for a while. Yeah, I really got a niche. I really like it. Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool to pretend to be somebody else for a while,
Yeah,
and then walk away and be yourself at the end of the day, like you said earlier. Yeah,
you just got to get out of it. Yeah, because once you get into it, it's hard to get back out of it after a while. But it's wonderful.
Yeah, I took some classes for predominantly for voiceover work, and one of the things that they teach you is to give yourself permission to do these things.
Yes.
There's kind of a filter that people have that says, I can't do that. Give yourself permission to step out of yourself and become somebody else.
Absolutely.
Let's talk to Brian. He's in Springfield, Ohio. Brian, you're on Rockline with Peter Criss.
Hey, Peter. It's great to talk to you.
Oh, how you doing, Brian?
I'm doing really good. Hey, congratulations on your new album and the grandpa thing. Hey, I got 3 grandsons. You'll slide right through it, buddy. Believe me.
Thanks for the advice.
A man of experience.
And dealing with grandkids, they're all going to get mischievous stuff. And when you was younger, you was a little mischievous too. So here's a question. When you were younger, I heard that you were in the gang thing. And how did you break away from that when you were a teen?
Oh, God. Well, the gang thing in my neighborhood was much different than the gang thing today. There was no drive-by shootings. We didn't have automatics. It was just none of that stuff. And a lot of times it just got settled with one gang leader to another gang leader, one-on-one, winner take all. It wasn't as violent. It was, garrison belts and chains. And I was a little gun runner when I was 13, and my grandmother caught me and broke a broom over my head. Oops. But what got me out of it was music, man. My mother knew. My mother was one of those mothers. I love my mother to death. I miss her every day she's gone. She influenced me so much in my life. On this album, I did a song called What a Difference a Day Makes for my mom. And she knew the only way to get me out of the streets was music. And when I got my drums, she would make me practice as much as she could, knowing it would keep me out of the gutters and out of the trouble. And she was right, man, because it just eventually I just started playing clubs and got out of that whole style of living. It wasn't not the way to live.
Yeah, gangs back then, it was kind of like West Side Story, really.
Kind of, it's true. Yeah, we kind of were. Yeah, it was almost a thing about it that's nothing like today. My God.
Oh, it's a little different out there. Brian, thanks for joining us tonight. Taking your calls at 1-800-344-ROCK. The lines remain jammed up right now, though. RocklineRadio.com is our website. You can see who's coming up. What a lineup! Next week is going to be really, really cool because Queensryche's coming in and they're going to play live. We're just going to turn the whole show over to them for a plugged-in full band electric live performance. They get about 70 minutes to play live, so that'll be great. And then coming soon, Joe Satriani, Eddie Money, Jolyn Turner, Foghat. It just so many great artists at rocklineradio.com. You can see all of them. Rockline is brought to you by Fox. Rescue Me, the critically acclaimed series starring Dennis Leary, is now on Wednesdays. Don't miss all new episodes of Rescue Me, Wednesday at 10, 9 Central on FX. Falling All Over Again is this song from One for All.
Baby, you are the best thing in my life. We have it all, you and me. All of our dreams are free. We have it all, yeah we do. Now we can start.
It is Rockline. I'm Bob Coburn with Peter Criss. And your calls at 1-800-344-ROCK from Concord, California. Michael, you're on the show with us.
Hi, Peter.
How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good, good. Hey, you know what? It's an honor to be talking to you right now. And I just wanted to say thank you for sharing yourself with the rest of the world and everything. And it's a great honor. Thank you.
You're the reason why I do it, man. Trust me.
My question is actually a two-part question. Number one, do you have any other creative talents besides drumming? And my second part was, did you have a Farrah Fawcett poster back in the 70s?
Well, I think singing's another talent. I got to look at it in songwriting. I guess that would be other talents. Would you think so?
Yeah, I would say so for that. Yeah,
I mean that kind of comes in handy for me. And what was the second question? Did I ever meet Farrah Fawcett?
I wanted to know if you had a Farrah Fawcett poster up on your wall back in the 70s.
Of course I did. What do you think? I'm not human? Of course I did. Absolutely. And a lot of other posters that I have up there.
Didn't you have one, Michael?
Oh, of course, definitely.
I'm with you, Mike.
I gotta share a story with you guys, and nobody believes me on this story, but Bob Seger was on Rockline one time, and we were talking about the song Hollywood Nights, and said, what about Hollywood prompted you to write that song? And he said, well, nothing really. He said, what prompted me to write the song was my Farrah Fawcett poster. He thought, if she's out there doing that, that must be what Hollywood's like. So he wrote the song.
Wow. I'll be damned.
We all had one of those, and man, she looked good in that red bathing suit. Michael, that's great stuff. Thanks for calling tonight. Louisville, Nebraska, this is Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
Hello.
Hey, Kevin.
What's going on?
I'm here talking to you.
This is cool, but this is a real honor to be talking to you, man.
That's what Rockline's for. What you want to talk to Peter about?
My first question is, what inspired Space Ace, and when was the last time you talked to Ace Frehley?
Okay, what inspired? It just happened. I was messing with this cool little thing I had, and I put a space pad on it. And the spacier it got, the more I thought of him, because I really believe he is an alien. I do believe he's from another planet. I do. I think it is Jandel, as he says it is. So what better guy to write, what better person to write about than a real alien? And what was the other thing you asked me?
Let's see.
Last time you talked to him, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, he called. Actually, my lovely wife took me to Hawaii for my birthday this year, and because I'm not happy with my birthdays anymore, so she took me there, and he called while we were there, and so that was the last time we kind of spoke to him.
Yeah, boy, I hear you on the birthday thing, man. If we could keep having them, but the aging thing didn't happen. I always say, though, consider the alternative, and that's a good perspective.
I guess so, man.
Like you said earlier, any day above ground's a real good day.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So the song Space Ace closes the album, and it's very atmospheric.
Oh yeah,
I think we should play it then.
It goes out with a wild jam.
Call from Idaho, from Richmond. It's David. Welcome to Rockline.
Catman.
Hey, Dave.
That's cool.
How you doing, man?
I'm great. I have two questions for you.
What do you got?
First question is, do you still have the double-headed costume from your 1979 Dynasty album? And what is your favorite Kiss memorabilia?
Well, I have a lot of costumes, so I probably do, because My basement, you would love to go through it. It's tons of stuff down there. My favorite is Bill Coyne, our manager, in the heyday, got me a Monopoly set made of stained glass. The whole board is stained glass, and all the streets have Rock and Roll Over or Beth or Black Diamond, and each one of us, where you go to jail, he had us in there. I was in my jail, Ace was in his jail, and the cards had the pictures of us, and it was really cool. It's my favorite possession. I really dig it. It's really unusual.
That's really cool. Does Don Bernstein from the Hard Rock ever try to prize some of that out of your collection?
I'm not selling nothing.
There you go. David, thanks. Rusty is in Ohio now on Rockline. Hi, Rusty.
Say hi to him and ask a question.
Rusty, you're on the air with Peter now.
Hey, Chris. This is Rusty.
How you doing, Rusty?
Yes, I was wondering when you actually started writing songs.
God, I wrote my first love song when I was 13 to my mother. And it had a lot of I love yous in it. Most of the lyrics in verse and chorus.
Well, your family, your mom sang, and there were some painters, some graphic artists, and you came from a pretty artistic family, huh?
Yes, yeah, I do. Yes, I'm really fortunate. Yes.
Do you have the graphic arts thing at all, or did that bypass you?
I like to paint. I paint. My wife's great watercolors. We go up to this great place in Massachusetts called Rockport. It's a little artist colony, and any chance we get, we go up there. She's actually been on me more so these days to keep on painting. She really likes when I love it. I do it just because I love it, and I took some courses in it. But yeah, I love to paint. I've been doing it again.
Is your wife with you there tonight? I'm in LA.
Yeah, she's sitting right. Yeah? She's sitting right next to me here, man.
And her name is
Gigi.
Gigi. Well, have her lean in and just give us a shout real quick.
Sure. Say hello to Bob, babe.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Gigi. All right. I just had to get you on the air tonight one way or the other. We're back with Peter Criss in just a moment on Rockline. All right. It is Rockline. I'm BC, Bob Coburn, Peter Criss, our guest this evening. Let's do our thank yous here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling. Thanks to our affiliate stations. To Michael Lazar. Mike, you are the best. A+ always. John Weber, everybody at MGI there. Always a shout to Sal Cione, my good friend back there, too. Lori Lucer, I can never say her last name, Lucerian at Rogers & Cowan. Missy Colazzo, the Virgin Megastore, to Gigi. Thanks for being on with us ever so briefly tonight. And Peter wanted me to say thanks to all the Kiss fans and Peter Criss fans out there, too. So that kind of covers everybody. We got about 15 seconds here. You've been a busy man this week, Peter?
Oh, my God. I've been running around like a crazy man, up at 5 o'clock. But you know what? It's okay. What a great job we got. So it's been great, man.
Absolutely. We got to run. I'm BC, and I'll be seeing you.